and welcome to this yet another video where I'm going to try and answer another question related to confidence and interacting with your colleagues and superiors. So, the question that I've been asked by one of my interns working with me was, "Hey, sir, tell me, how can I overcome self doubt and boost my self confidence, especially when I'm interacting with my colleagues and superiors?" So I have this tendency that when I'm interacting with my peers and superiors, I tend to have this self doubt and lack of confidence, especially when I'm interacting with them. So, what can I do to overcome this problem? Okay. So, great question. Let's first analyze what causes this self doubt and lack of self confidence. See, as I see now here, I can think of three main reasons, right? One is the lack of preparation. You are going for a formal meeting with your boss and colleagues, and if you are not well prepared, if you just wake up from your bed and go to the meeting, you'll not you're not going to be very confident about your presence in that meeting, are you? All right. So lack of preparation. The second thing is that you might be very well prepared, but your own expectations of performance are so very high about yourself. You want to be seen and approved for everything that you present. So that high level of performance expectation drives the again self doubt and reduces your self confidence because you're operating on a very high level of performance expectations. The third thing is your understanding of your thoughts about how will the people, your colleagues, your bosses react, and what is your relationship with them? Are they going to be supportive? Are they going to be non-supportive? Let's use that word. And that drives your confidence. So you may be very well prepared. You might have a reasonable level of performance expectation. But if you think that you will not be supported well in the meeting and interactions, you're going to be really not confident, right? And you would have self-doubt about yourself itself. Right. So what can you do? So let's try and address some actions based on each of these causative factors. First thing, obviously, is that if you're going for a formal meeting, obviously be prepared for that meeting. Ask for agenda. What is the purpose? Hey, sir, what am I going to do? And if it is from your boss, it's best is to go and meet him or her, a 5 minute meeting, and say, "Hey, sir, I'd like to understand for this meeting what exactly would you like me to do? What is the purpose of the meeting? So that I come well prepared for this meeting." It will build your good relationship, good impression, as well as you will get the purpose and the objective of the meeting so that you can prepare accordingly. So understand the purpose of the meeting. Second thing that you can do is if you are interacting, if you are it is not a formal meeting, if it is a interaction where obviously you can't go and say impromptu interaction, you are gathering around a tea stall and talking about with your colleagues and bosses. So obviously you can't go and ask what is the purpose of this meeting. So there, but you can still do is if there is something that you want to talk about, something being discussed, and if you're not clear, the safest thing is to do is to ask questions nicely and gently in a non-challenging manner, right? Non-challenging is the word because you also need to keep other people, let's say, not put on their guard, right? And be open to your ideas and suggestions. So ask questions. If someone makes a point, don't react. Try and understand. Say, "Help me understand. Hey, Arun, help me understand. And what is the purpose of this? Why are you doing this?" And that can help you really understand and then help you respond nicely and genuinely and productively for other person as well as with confidence, because once you understand the question and if you have an answer, good. If you don't, one of the things that can put you in good uh, level of self confidence to say, begin by saying, "Hey, I really don't know whether I'm saying the right thing, but this is what I think. Maybe you guys can tell me whether that works for you or not." So asking questions and responding in a manner that is not putting yourself at a high pedestal can be one way to uh, overcome the self-doubt and self-confidence. Second thing is, of course, to keep your performance expectations low. So don't be in a rush to perform all the time. Give yourself a break. If you are natural, if you have a knowledge, you keep building your knowledge, performance will come out on its own. Don't need to be driven by performance all the time. Now, of course, if you're running a race for a short period of time, it's a 100-meter run, obviously you need to do your best. But even there, I would say, you say, okay, hey, what I can do is to run this race best, and I leave the results to the whatever happens, right? So case sera, whatever will happen, and I will do my best. So keep your performance expectation low, and the moment you rein in your performance expectation, you will see your confidence going up, your self doubt coming down. Third thing is to build good relationship with people, because when you are doubtful about the other people being supportive to you, your confidence will go for a toss, obviously. The best of the people, when they are in a hostile or non-supportive environment, would have self-doubt, won't you? And your confidence would be probably go for a toss. So what you need to do is, any such gathering where you have people, you need to keep building your interpersonal relationship. And how do you build interpersonal relationship? We have a whole course covered on Udemy called Excellence in Interpersonal, Social and Skills. So take a look at that. A link for that is given in this description. The essence of that is basically two things. One, interpersonal skills requires you to get liked by others. Now, who would you like? If you say nice thing to them and they say nice thing to you, you will build good relationship. So try and gather every possibility of saying nice things, right? If someone has made a point in the meeting, raise your hand or raise your voice and say, hey, I think that's a good point, that's a great point, I kind of agree with that, and I think that's the right thing to do. And if you keep doing that with your colleagues and bosses, you will build positive relationship, won't you? Similarly, if you have, so this is skillful, doing skillful communication. And if you have to say something that you do not agree with strongly, then you have to say it very nicely. He says, yeah, I think a little differently from what you're saying. And you may be right and I may be completely wrong. So put yourself down. And the moment you put yourself down, other people become reduced. They are not guarded, let's say that. And they start liking you for a person who is down to earth kind of a thing. So say that, maybe I'm completely wrong, but this is what I think. Maybe you guys may be able to react to this. So do skillful communication. Start getting liked. Take genuine interest in the work of other people, their requirements, and try and see if you can do something around, of course, without killing yourselves. So these are the very few things. Take a look at more details in that course if you want to. So build this interpersonal relationship, and if you can be prepared well, if you can lower your performance expectations and you have a great interpersonal relationship with the people, your colleagues and bosses, would you have an issue with self-doubt or self-confidence? I'm sure you won't have.